Leaked Cory Booker accuses Democrats of being complicit in Trump's agenda. What a shock. This from Cory Booker? Why is this a TikTok link?
The Democratic Party was about to give Donald Trump tens of millions of dollars when he has already told the Democratic Party, I'm not going to let blue states have this. I'm not going to give it to New York, New Jersey, California, Washington, Illinois. Literally, they were about to be complicit to the very things they say out of another side of their mouth that they object to. Democrats need to learn to fight and fight.
Didn't Cory Booker literally just vote for another, like, was it law enforcement spending bill? What it did, isn't he? Cory Booker is not exactly a principled warrior against the Trump administration.
And stop him from hurting people. In this case, he would have hurt police officers in half the states of America.
Sir, is there a way that you could have offered an amendment or tried to change?
I did offer an amendment.
And what happened?
You just saw that. It didn't get passed. And remember, we passed those out of committee in April. Mm-hmm. Donald Trump didn't start making these decisions till days later. Now we know the consequences because here it is, July.
Why do you think other Democrats don't feel the same way that you do?
A lot of us do. There's a lot of us in this caucus that want to fight. And what's bothering me right now is we don't see enough fight in this caucus.
Is there any concern about not presenting a united front when you guys are trying to fight Trump?
I don't care about the left-right united front. Right now what I care about is defending New Jersey. And they were doing a...
I hate rhetoric like that so much, dude. I despise it. You have no idea how much I despise it.
Broadside attack on my state. Or actually, they were enabling Donald Trump to do a broadside attack on my state. And I will fight for New Jersey. That's the people that elected me.
It's like the number one way of knowing a person is being completely disingenuous because again, for one, you're in the federal government, okay, and you're clearly just looking to get reelected, you know, it's that rhetoric is pure campaigning propaganda. Nobody who's actually trying to make a point talks like this. It's just, please, yeah, vote for me, get the news clip. And this is, by the way, not leaked audio. It was a conversation had presumably with a journalist. Just because it's recorded audio and not video doesn't mean it's deliberate that it was quote unquote leaked. Yeah, here's his fiery speech.
The Democratic Party needs a wake-up call. I see law firms bending a knee to this president, not caring about the larger principles, that those free speech rights, that you could take on any client, why are you bending the knee? I see universities that should be bastions of free speech bending at the knee to this president. I see businesses.
Totally empty. I mean, the more you see it, the easier it is to recognize, but this like, this vacuous, phony, like, I am going to adopt the language of the radical, but only in a way that is totally ineffectual and doesn't actually challenge anyone or anything.
Taking late-night talk show hosts off the air because they dare to insult a president. I see people who want mergers suddenly think that they have to pay tribute to this president. And what are the very people here elected to defend the Constitution of the United States saying, oh, well, today, let's look the other way and pass some resources that won't go to Connecticut, that won't go to Illinois, that won't go to New York, that will go to the states he likes. That is complicity with an authoritarian leader who is trashing our Constitution. It's time for Democrats to have a backbone. It's time for us to fight. It's time for us to draw lines. And when it comes to the safety of my state being denied these grants, that's why I'm standing here. Don't question my integrity. Don't question my motives. I'm standing for Jersey. I am standing for my police officer.
Let me, out of curiosity, is he up for re-election? Hold on. New Jersey Senate elections 2026. Incumbent Democratic Senator Cory Booker running. Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm standing for the Constitution and I'm standing for what's right. And dear God, if you want to come at me that way, you're going to have to take it up with me because there's...
Jesus Christ. Oh, man. He really does hate you. What a cynical piece of shit. He despises your ass, man. Oh, my God.
Too much on the line right now in America. as people's due process rights and freedom of the speech rights and secret police.
Freedom of the speech rights.
Are running around this country, picking people up off the streets who have a legal right to be here. There's too much going on in this country. When are we going to stand together for principles that I just heard that were agreed with? When are we going to stand together? If we don't stand as Democrats, we deserve to lose. But if we stand united, if we stand strong, if we stand with other people, if
it really does speak to how little he thinks of his constituents, you know? Do you have any idea how evil you have to be to pull this kind of game, to like so cynically weaponize, like because you're thinking in your head, it's not unplanned. You're thinking in your head, like, you know, elections coming up, right? I need to make a name for myself. I did, after all, get some word out about my, you know, my honor as a senator by doing that big filibuster, which led to nothing. Again, nothing was accomplished with the filibuster, but I did set a record, and then I wrote a book about it like 5 minutes later, you know, so got some money for that. But I'm going to need to keep the cameras on me, so let's do this. Let's get some audio leaked about me being a dissident, because mind you, Cory Booker is aware of the fact that his constituents are angry, that they feel the Democratic Party isn't doing anything, and his response to that is, I will exploit that. Doesn't matter if he's a piece of shit, I feel like it's a good sign that he's shit-talking the Dems at large. He's not shit-talking the Dems at large. It's utterly vacuous, it's meaningless, it's insidious, it's designed to distract you, to think that Cory Booker is different when he's not. You're falling for it. You're falling for the jangling keys. It's this absolutely no difference between how he handles this and how Schumer handles this. They just have different strategies of getting reelected.
We tell with a chorus of conviction in America what this president is doing is wrong. If we stand up and speak that way, dear God, we will win. Like all of those people that are ancestors who joined hands together and said, we shall overcome. No, not on.
Jesus Christ, dude. Oh my God. Fuck. Oh, that's difficult to watch. That's rough.
My watch. I'm protecting Jersey today. I'm protecting our Constitution today. The Democratic Party needs a wake-up call.
Oh, the video. It's not the play bar didn't reset, but okay. Yeah, that's cool. Want to read a little article blip? New Jersey Senator Cory Booker scolded fellow Democrats Tuesday for not having enough backbone to resist Donald Trump in a fiery floor exchange that took place as colleagues sought to pass bipartisan police-related bills. What I'm tired of is when the president of the U.S. violates the Constitution, and what does the Democratic Party do? Comply? Allow him? Beg for scraps? Booker said, no. I demand justice. The bills in question are aimed at equipping police with trauma kits and protecting certain family death benefits, and Democratic Senators Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota and Catherine Cortez Masto of Nevada sought to pass them by unanimous consent. But Booker sought to offer an amendment requiring the Trump administration to distribute public safety resources among blue and red states without political bias, a request that threatened to upend the bill's quick passage. There's a lot of us in this caucus that want to fight, Booker told reporters, and what's bothering me right now is we don't see enough fight in this caucus. Cortez Masto said afterwards she was disappointed by Booker's protest and rejected the suggestions Democrats were not fighting hard enough. I come from a swing state and have to beat back opponents to win my state and take on Donald Trump, she said. So it is really, to me, about how we work together to keep our communities safe and pass bipartisan, unanimous legislation that really came out of his committee, and that's where the focus should be. Booker did not ultimately object on the floor to the two police bills, and they did pass by unanimous consent. So there you go. In your opinion, what would it take for these Dems to do something actually positive? I reject your framing. We are watching a video of Cory Booker molesting a children. Jesus, can't talk. I can't be edgy if I can't talk. Molesting a child on the Senate floor, and you're asking like, okay, dude, if this isn't impressive to you, what would be? I reject your framing. You know, I don't agree with the way you're proposing. This is worse than doing nothing. What we just saw is worse than doing nothing. This is worse than doing nothing. You understand that, right? You understand, like it would be like a Democrat standing up and demanding that his party do more to pass like anti-Jim Crow legislation at the federal level, but only in the most like barren, ineffectual way possible, and then just going, okay, I vote yes. No difference, no change. It's entirely performance to win an election. It is dangerous because it distracts people. It lures in people who are easily impressed with stuff like this. Performance rather than action. To be clear, performance can be good. This is bad performance. There's nothing real here. Performance doesn't just mean, like, performance doesn't have to be disingenuous. Being a politician requires a lot of performance, you know? There's nothing wrong with being performatively anything, you know? Even if you're only talking, you can still convince people. This does nothing. Jesus, look at him.
I see law firms bending a knee to this president.
All this shit happened months ago? No, this happened yesterday. Other stuff happened months ago. That's the same clip.
Stand together for principles that I just heard that were agreed with. When are we going to stand together?
Jesus. Imagine how embarrassing this must be to the Democrats that were there in session, watching this, like, pathetic, look at me bullshit prior to an election, while all of them are just waiting for the thing they know he's going to vote for anyway to get passed. Like they're any better? I think they are. I think it is better if a person is a dickless corporate dem for them to just act like a dickless corporate dem rather than do this elaborate pantomiming where they delude people or attempt to delude people into believing that they're some kind of rebel activist or whatever. I think that's disingenuous to a higher level. Don't piss on me and say it's raining. Yep. Yes, sir. And God, look at the embarrassing coverage it's getting too. They're repeating only the words and none of the context in the titles. So naturally, you know, you look at this and you might think, oh, is Cory Booker actually doing something? No, but that's the impression that's being given. Whatever, he was going to win re-election anyway. We don't hate Dems enough. That is correct.